Okay.
Hello and welcome to the program. This is Spotlight with Chinaza on Captain Television here in Abuja, where we are looking you from. And I am Chinaza absolutely. Now, as the political scene begins to get more intense, you can see political parties gathering momentum. Party loyalists are beginning to, come up with their manifestos. But the question is, beyond politics and beyond elections, what is true leadership like? Is this something that are we focused on constitutional improvement, infrastructure, education, health services, and everything that makes a country a country? On today's program, we'll be speaking with someone very special, and of course, the chief of staff to Honorable Paschal Agbodike, who goes by the name Mo Maite. He joins us on the program to discuss the party politics of his principle and, of course, the people of Anambra, precisely Ihala in particular. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the program.
Yeah, thank you, Chima. It's my pleasure to be here.
Now, let's begin with the fact that you are the closest person to Honorable Paschal Agbodike. Tell us a bit about his perception about the next coming election, his intentions, his manifesto, what he tends to achieve more, aside what he has achieved in the last, because we're already concluding the first tenure of the 2023 election.
Okay. Honorable Paschal Agbodike is the honorable member representing the good people of the Federal Constituency in the National Assembly, 10th Assembly to be precise. And this is an individual whose political trajectory is characterized with performance. And this can be traced from his activities while he was in the State Assembly. Mm-hmm. Of course, he was a former House of State Assembly lawmaker for 2 terms. In his first foray into politics, he was made the deputy majority leader in the State Assembly, while in his second term in the State Assembly, he was made the deputy speaker of the state. So this is an individual who understands that representation is all about the people, because he is the one who speaks on behalf of the people he represents. So, like we say in our federal constituency, William's activities is one that is characterized by a lot of projects, human capital development projects, capital projects, and what have you. And this is the kind of individual that is not interested in politics or empty promises. The local government, whatever he does can be verified, tied to a verifiable program or projects. Yes, that is the individual.
All right, now as the 2023 term begins to wind down, your principal having been in the United States National State Assembly, what bills or motions do you say he has passed that particularly impacts or that has an impact in the lives of the Indian people?
As a National Assembly member?
Yes, of course.
Okay, yeah, of course. From the record, the Paschal Agbodike happens to be one of the enterprising lawmaker in the 10th Assembly. And by that I mean, if you go to the records of the House of Reps, you notice that he's one of the lawmakers with the highest number of bills and highest number of motions. To his credit, he has over 20 bills, all of which have gone beyond second reading. But particularly those bills that concern the people of the Federal Constituency, that is of note, is the one that has to do with the establishment of Federal College of Nursing and Midwifery to be sited at Imbosi. This is an establishment bill. There's also another establishment bill that seeks to establish a vocational and education training college in Uli. These are landmark bills that he has introduced in the National Assembly, seeking to bring this down. You can imagine what such a college of education or vocational institution will do in terms of transforming the life of the average Ihiala man.
All right, now, since the inauguration of Honorable Paschal Agbodike, he did describe Ihiala as a construction site. So, talk to us about the projects he has on ground or those that he has completed. I'm talking about human infrastructure, roads, schools, healthcare, and the rest of it.
Okay, yeah. Indeed, it's correct to say that Ihiala local government or Ihiala federal constituency has become a construction site, the way you said it is being put. And the reason behind that is because, like I said, this is an individual who believes in performance. His representation is characterized by performance. And like I said earlier, each of these performances are verifiable. For the first time in the federal constituency, we are able to see proper federal government projects springing up in Ihiala local government, courtesy of Honorable Agbodike. It will interest you to know that in a school called Abbott Boys Secondary School, one of the first class schools in Ihiala, very old school, Honorable Agbodike, sometime around 2024, attracted a project worth over 1 point something billion naira. It's a smart school federal government project, 1 point something billion within the cost. And also, when you go to a place called Total Filling Station, within the road that leads from Total Filling Station to Olo in Imo State, there is a massive road construction going on there. This is an attracted road project by the honorable member. In Ihiala town, for example, there is a road leading from Ezego to Ubahekwem. This is a road that was abandoned, very bad road, as it were. And somewhere around 2024, Honorable Paschal Agbodike also, attracted the construction of that very road. In Mbosi community, where he hails from, there is a 2-kilometer road project going on there. And then when you go to a school called Union Secondary School in Okija, Union Secondary School is located along the Onitsha-Owerri Road. There is a gigantic story building, 6 classroom block, being attracted by the honorable member. In the state university, the Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, inside that university, there is a 8 classroom block already going on there, attracted by the honorable rep member. In Uli Primary School, a primary school in a community called Uli, a 6 classroom block was already attracted, already completed and furnished. In Asia community where I hail from, there are 3 classroom blocks, 3 different class buildings going on in Asia Central School, St. Anthony's, and Obom community. These are attracted projects. You go to Blisizo, you will see a 6 classroom block going on there. You go to OGS is Okija Grammar School. That is a 3 classroom block there. In another community called Amoka Community Secondary School, Honorable Agbodike renovated 6 classroom blocks for them there and also gave them a 3 classroom block, all fully furnished and empowered. So these are the reasons why you can actually say that Ihiala local government had become a construction site. Again, also, there is a school called St. Augustine Secondary School in Mbosi. This is a school that all the building, about 8 to 9 buildings there, were vandalized by non-state actors and agitators. The whole building there were vandalized. Currently, the school is springing up, courtesy of Honorable Paschal Agbodike. He's building the whole of the school blocks there back to life, to give those children who have been badly damaged, whose academic sections and the academic program have been badly damaged, is giving life back to them. In Iseke, I was one of the people that took some people from the presidency, an office from the presidency that came for, project that they want to do in Iseke. There's a primary school in Iseke. Honorable Agbodike also attracted to be, although this one is yet to become, this one is yet to start up, but he has brought people from the Ministry of Education to take proper measurement of the things that were damaged in that school. Right? This very school I'm talking about was also vandalized by the non-state actors I was making reference to. So these are plethora of constructions going on in a community called, Okija Ward 3. There is a town hall there, an ancient town hall that was built over 100 years ago, but which holds significant meaning to the people there. Honorable Agbodike is rebuilding the town hall for the people of that very community. So these are so many, and beyond the constructions, there are also human capital and the skill acquisition program that has happened over the years, from people that were trained in cosmetology, to the people that were trained in fashion design, to youths that were trained in solar installations, those trained in paint making and the rest of it. These people, after the training, there will always be a seed money given to them or some equipment given to those people that participated in the training so that they can have their life back. So these are series of things. I can also remember a time where through what he called feed to farm, farm to feed program, an agric program that he conceived that we called farm to feed, where Honorable Agbodike introduced some agricultural seeds, some very hybrid cassava stems and other seeds, gave it to the farming communities, the farming individuals in our federal constituency, that I can tell you some of them with the testimonies they are giving with regards to the products, the yield, the harvest they are making from those special agric seeds are quite interesting. So in Ihiala Federal Constituency, Honorable Agbodike is not only representing, he is touching life individually. And when you talk about, going beyond the programs that he has actually carried out, there are so many youths in our federal constituency that he has equally empowered, from those who are into youth volunteers and the rest of them. There was a time motorcycles were distributed to these youths in Ihiala Federal Constituency. And I can tell you, it was quite significant. Significant in the sense that as a young man from that federal constituency, we have never seen such, where a House of Rep member, distributed motorcycles and the security vehicles to the communities and to youth so that they can have something doing, so that they can use it and support themselves, Particularly also, as part of the things he did to have our place going on, there was a time also Honorable Agbodike distributed, computers, some youths that were trained in ICT and the rest of it, including schools that might have needs for computers. Several number of computers were distributed, including grinding machines that were also distributed so that our local farmers, our petty traders can use those things and, support themselves as the hardship is becoming so hard on people. He is always interested on things he will do that will have a very direct impact in the lives of the people he represents. Thank you.
All right. Now, aside the fact that Honorable Paschal Agbodike is one of the vocal members we know in the Green Chamber, and of course, having sponsored a number of bills and motions, and then to the project constitution that he has done, training and empowerment, they've been one major issue in the Southeast and Ihiala particularly, and that's the issue of insecurity. So, what is going on? What is Honorable Paschal Agbodike doing in that regard?
Yes, as the people's advocate, because as a House of Reps member, he has the powers of representation, because as a lawmaker, you do lawmaking, representation, and oversight. As a good representatives, if you go through the motions that I cited, out of the 16 motions that he moved on the floor of the House, Honorable Agbodike has actually called on federal government interventions in several ways, by way of cushioning hunger, by ways of trying to set up a program within the federal constituency that will help the youths who are being misled, to have something doing. Because they said an idle mind is a devil's workshop. But on the area of his intervention with relation to security, I can tell you that Honorable Agbodike procured about 12 security vehicles that he distributed to communities. Communities that have set up, their local security outfits. I know that there's some vehicles were given to them. Okija community were given, Ihiala were given, Osumohu were given, Uli were given, Lilo were given. There are several communities that are already having security outfits that these vehicles have been distributed. All these things are verifiable. They are not just a lip service. It were all handed over to the traditional ruler and the president generals of this community to support the fight against insecurity happening in those places. There were also a time that he gave them motorcycles. He gave motorcycles to the security personnel in those communities so that they can use it in their operations with other, security gadgets. Yeah, these are the wonderful things he has done in that regards.
Okay, now as the political season continues to heat up in regards to the 2027 general election, Honorable Paschal has publicly declared his intention to seek a second term, saying that constituents should expect more from him. And this time around, as a principal officer, what would be the advantage of Ihiala people if peradventure he makes it to becoming a principal officer? And ahead of the next election, aside what he has done so far, what is the next focus, or what is the focus and goals ahead of him?
Okay, I think Honorable Agbodike is one politician from Ihara local government that happens to, if I say, a consensus candidate for the people of Ihara local government. And this is because of the good performance he has put up. You know, it is always difficult to elect someone or re-elect someone who is already in a seat, right? But what would make your re-election very easy is your performance, right? So the performance of Honorable Paschal Agbodike is actually what is playing out for him. Because if it were to be somebody who went to House of Reps and only thinks about himself, he doesn't care for the people, he moves on, I think it would be a very bad one. But right now, as I'm talking to you, every community in Ihara local government are singing one song, which is more job for Honorable Paschal Agbodike. More job, and that's what our people is saying. They are saying so because, like I said, in his first venture into politics at the State House of Assembly, Honorable Agbodike became a principal officer by virtue of him being elected as the deputy majority leader in the State Assembly, his first shots in politics. While in his second term in office, he was elected by his members to become the deputy speaker of the state, number 5th position in the state's protocol. Now in the National Assembly, it will interest you to know that Honorable Paschal Agbodike represent in dual capacity here in the National Assembly. He's a member representing here a federal constituency and also a member of the ECOWAS Parliament. He is also a chairman of a committee. This is owing to his sagacity because legislation is all about experience. This is somebody that have come through various ladder. He understands what political horse trading is. If he is a neophyte, if he's a newbie in the game, there wouldn't be a way he would be, getting the opportunity to serve representing Nigeria in ECOWAS. It is as a result of his experience. And there is no doubt that somebody who have garnered this level of, and let me also say this, Honorable Agbodike is the secretary to the Southern Nigerian Caucus in the National Assembly. That's in this federal, in Nigeria today. We have North, we have South, we have rep members from the Northern Nigeria, and we have rep members from the Southern Nigeria. So in their caucus, he is the secretary of the Southern Nigerian House of Reps caucus. This is not something that is just easy to give to anybody. It is experience that gave him those. And so I believe if the people of Ihara local government, Ihara federal constituency elects him for the second term, there is no doubt he will not be having his shot at being a principal officer in the next 11th assembly.
So has there been negotiation going on in regards to that?
You wouldn't know, but the first hurdle is to get elected. But why I have just recounted all this is for you to see the baggage this rep member comes with, the wealth of experience. He has been a critical and integral member of key decisions that are being taken in this National Assembly from day one, right from the election of the Speaker of the House of Reps till date. This is an individual who has always horse traded. Let me also remind you that Honorable Agbodike is also the caucus leader of the All Progressive Grand Alliance as a political party in the National Assembly. That is, the National Assembly is made up of different political parties. He is the leader of APGA in this very National Assembly. So that is a very good credit. And positions are given to people based on their political positions they are holding or different positions they are holding in the National Assembly. Yeah.
Now, looking at the broader political landscape, how is your principal positioning himself and Ihiala within the national conversations ahead of 2027? Has there been any form of alliance or relationship that he has built that will work in the favor of his constituents?
Yes, actually, being here, being in the National Assembly, and also being a vocal voice is one of the things the people of Ihiala Federal Constituency should be very, very proud of. This is a house of 360 people. And out of that 360 people, you have a son who have moved over 23 bills, who have moved over 16 motions on the floor of the House. It is not easy for you to move a motion or a bill on the floor of the House, but this shows the quality of this individual and the marriage between the people of Ihiala Federal Constituency with the national politics. Honorable Agbodike, like I said, is now into the national politics. And it is because of his dexterity that he was able to attract a project that was cited 1-1 per state. A smart school project that was cited 1-1 per state. Honorable Agbodike was able to muzzle it from, he was able to get it and cite it in Ihiala Federal Constituency. That's because there is already this bridge that he has built between the people of Ihiala Federal Constituency. And I can also assure you, there are more being cooked within this period. Like I said also, Honorable Agbodike has moved through his bill for the establishment of a vocational and educational training center. He has also moved for the creation or the establishment of a school of nursing and midwifery in Umbose. These are the bridge we are hoping to have. And like I said, you could imagine where there is a school of nursing and midwifery situated in Ihiala. People from other part of the states, the 5 states in the southeast, will be coming to that place, and that is going to bring economy, that is going to bring development, that is going to bring a lot of infrastructural improvement in our place. So this is what we hope to see, and he's already doing it now. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Well, quite interesting. But in politics, they say you can never predict, and also 24 hours in politics is quite a long time. What is the message of your principle to young people, and especially the first-time voters in Ihiala Federal Constituency, as to decide whether or not he deserves a second term? Regardless of the fact that you have spoken about so many infrastructural developments, human capital developments, and the rest of it. But there is this angle of politics that plays out most times that don't seem to be understood. So if he's going to speak to the people of Ihiala Federal Constituency, and especially the first-timers, what would be his message to them?
Yeah, his message to them would be that they have somebody in the National Assembly that they can trust. One thing is trust. We have bad leadership today in our country because those who have been leading have not earned our trust. Right now, we have somebody who we can trust, somebody who can do a lot for us. You will remember that sometime in 2023, Honorable Paschal Agbodike's house was burnt down in the village, to the extent that no single building is standing in his house, in his father's house today. His own building and that of his brothers and the other people were all burnt down. Other politicians who have the type of opportunity he have today would have reconstructed or rebuilt the whole building burnt down. But when you go there today, you will shed tears. So Honorable Agbodike puts more to what favors the people of Ihiala than himself. So the message will be for the first-time voters: get your vote. Look at the trajectory of this individual. Look at his performances. Look at what he has done in terms of education. Look at what he has done in terms of infrastructure. Look at the job opportunities he has created for some people. And there are some other students who are enjoying scholarship at Federal College of Agriculture, Federal Cooperative College of River. They are on a full scholarship program under the Miriam Education Foundation. They should look at all these things and be able to determine whether this person deserves a second term. And I bet you, those who are there at the federal constituency understand that Honorable Agbodike is their best bet, because a bird at hand is worth two in the forest.
All right. Now, before we wrap it up, we've seen this political season gathered so much heat, especially with the emergence of new political party, the MDC, and now the mighty elephant, the APC. If you're on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say is the chances for your principal?
The chances has always been, irrespective of the new political parties and the rest of it, his advantage is his performance. The reward for a good work is more work. So his programs speak for him. His activities speak for him. This is somebody that make out time to attend burials, attend good stuffs, marriages, and the rest of it. Mingle with the people, have meetings with the traditional rulers, the president generals, and the youth organizations, including women organizations. So nothing is, there is no doubt that the people will not elect him. In the last election in 2023, the wave was everywhere. And in Ihiala Federal Constituency, the people stood for Honorable Paschal Agbodike. Remember also, Anambra State is a party that is being predominantly an APGA state. But beyond the party cleavages, I still maintain on performance, because that performance is what stands out. That he's a House of Rep member and seek to return back is not the issue. The issue is, what have you done? And what I always do as a chief of staff is, when people ask questions from various communities, I will say, please, which community are you speaking from, or do you come from? Once you mention your community, I will give you load of what we have done in your community, and you will be impressed, because our people are not always interested in politics. So sometimes they don't understand, and I always avail my time to educate them on what is being done in your community. I have mentioned in Okija, for example, I can count up to 6 projects going on. There's a university also in Okija called Legacy University. Agbodike is building a 6 classroom block for them there. Street lights in my community, as for example, when you come to a place called Ogumabiri today, every evening from 6 to 10, people are there doing their businesses, because there's a street lights on Agbodike put for the community there that help them have a nightlife, night business, and the rest of it. Do you understand? It serves as an opportunity for economic boom and also an opportunity for security. So, like I said, his activities, his performance is what he have.
All right, thank you so much, Moma Ife Uche. And Moma Ife Uche is the Chief of Staff to Honorable Paschal Agbodike, representing the good people of Ihiala Federal Constituency. Now, as the 2027 general election draws closer, leadership is not all about federal level or state level. It's about the people. It's about human capital development. It's about infrastructure, and of course, healthcare services. So, at the end of the day, you decide who your vote goes for. And remember that at the end of the day, your leaders should be held accountable. This is where we'll draw the curtain on today's program. I'll come your way some other time. But until then, I am Chinaza Asebu. Keep watching Captain Television. And may God bless Nigeria.